Hi there, Recap Factory is here. Today we will be explaining a 2019 movie titled 7500. Beware, spoilers ahead. Watch out, take care and enjoy. In the Berlin airport, security footage shows men making their way through security, making purchases, and seemingly switching a bag. The rest of the film takes place only in the cockpit on an aircraft. A German flight prepares to leave the airport, led by Captain Michael Lutzman and American co-pilot, the soft-spoken Tobias Ellis. Tobias is in a relationship with one of the flight attendants, Gox, and the two have a 2-year-old son, though at work they try to not bring their relationship up to be professional. The plane takes off. The pilots are able to watch inside the cabin via a camera outside the cockpit door. When a flight attendant brings them their meals, they buzz her into the cockpit. As she enters, two men, Vedat and Kinan, attack her and rush their way into the cockpit. Using glass they stab both Lutzman and Tobias. Tobias is able to shove Vedat back out of the cockpit and shut the door. Lutzman fights off Kinan but is stabbed brutally, and Tobias is able to knock him out with a fire extinguisher. Lutzman then urges him to right the plane's nose, which he does as he cradles his bloody arm. Lutzman is gravely injured and urges Tobias to focus on bringing down the plane. Meanwhile, Vedat and two other men continue to try to break down the door to the cockpit. When Kinan begins stirring, Tobias kicks him unconscious, ties him up with duct tape, and radios down and makes plans to land at Hanover. Lutzman becomes unresponsive, and Tobias attempts to do CPR to revive him. To his devastation, he is unable to resuscitate him. Lutzman is dead. He radios ground and informs them, and they tell him Hanover is ready for them with a crash crew and also fighter jets are on the way. Tobias makes an announcement to the cabin that the plane would be landing at Hanover in 20 minutes. The men in the cabin continue to bash the door in an attempt to break into the cockpit. With no luck, one of them, Daniel, takes a passenger and brings him up the camera, threatening to kill him if Tobias doesn't open the door. Tobias is horrified, and radios ground, who reminds him that under no circumstances can he open the door. Tobias calls the phone that is meant for the flight attendants and Vedat answers, demanding to know where Kinan is and ordering Tobias not to land. Tobias pleads with them not to kill the hostage as Vedat counts down from 10. They refuse to back down, and before they kill the hostage, Tobias turns the screen off, devastated. He turns the screen back on to see the hostage dead. He radios in and in tears tells them the hostage is dead. They confirm the jets will be joining him. Tobias calls and speaks to Vedat and tells him that when they land they can negotiate with authorities. Vedat relays the message to Daniel, who is enraged and returns with another hostage, Gox, who pleads with them that she has a child. Tobias calls and tells Vedat that if they do not let Gox go, he will kill Kinan. Daniel says he doesn't care, and Tobias announces to the entire plane that the hijackers' only weapons are glass and that together they can stop them, and pleads with them to fight back and save her life. Daniel retreats to fight off the passengers. While he does that, Tobias speaks to Vedat, who he has recognized does not want to kill anyone. Vedat insists Daniel will kill everyone, but Tobias tells him he can see that he is better than him and can stop him. Daniel returns with Gox ready to kill her. Tobias tells the passengers to fasten their seatbelts and moves the plane enough to throw Daniel to the ground. Vedat fights him off but Daniel defeats him. Tobias agrees to open the door, but Gox tells Tobias to take care of their child and begs him not to open the door, and Daniel slits Gox's throat. Tobias sobs in the cockpit. The air jets fly up alongside the plane to escort it to Hanover Airport. The passengers begin fighting back against the hijackers, taking control of the plane again. Kinan wakes up and gets the jump on Tobias, knocking him out. He lets Vedat into the cockpit, where he hugs Kinan and sobs about all the blood and death. Kinan orders Vedat to kill Tobias, but instead, Vedat begins tying him up, angering Kinan. Kinan radios ground and tells them he's taking revenge for Muslims against Westerners and is going to show them what it is like to lose lives. The ground wants to know his demands, but Kinan has none. As they approach the city, Vedat asks Kinan if this is right, clearly upset. Kinan insists it's right and tells him not to be afraid. Vedat begins hyperventilating and says he doesn't want to die. Vedat takes the glass shard and stabs Kinan in the neck and unties Tobias, who is able to stop the plane from crashing. Tobias radios in confirming the landing at Hanover, and Vedat demands to be taken somewhere else, but Tobias tells him they need fuel and after they land and refuel he can fly elsewhere. Vedat has a glass shard and has command of Tobias, but Tobias convinces him the landing is necessary. Since Tobias's left arm is badly injured, he asks Vedat to help him land the plane, which they finally manage to do. From the plane, Tobias and Vedat see the passengers being evacuated. Vedat keeps Tobias, more wounded than ever, at glass point, as the police call Vedat to ask for his demands. Vedat demands the plane be refueled in 20 minutes, which the negotiator tells him it can't be done that fast. He threatens to kill Tobias, but the negotiator says his demands will only be met if the pilot is unharmed. Vedat turns off the call. When Vedat goes to the bathroom, Tobias gets the glass shard from Kinan's body. As they sit in the cockpit, they ask each other questions about where they are from and their lives. Vedat reveals he is only 18 years old. When he notices the glass, Vedat becomes paranoid and suspicious, but then the police ask him to open a window. They tell him the plane is refueled and demand to see that Tobias is okay. Vedat's mother calls him. He cries and tells her he trusted the others and that he wants to go home. He continues spiraling and holds the glass to Tobias, who urges him to put it down and surrender. Vedat begins screaming and says if he doesn't fly out in minutes he will kill Tobias and holds the glass right to his throat. A sniper shoots Vedat, and Tobias calls for a doctor as Vedat lays bleeding on the floor. Tobias lets the police into the plane and has to walk by Gok's body as he leaves. The police then remove Vedat, then enter the cockpit to survey the scene. Did you enjoy the recap? Tell us your thoughts in the comment section and thank you for watching. Give us a like and remember to also hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to catch more fresh content. See you.